Showers and storms are tracking through, but we are out of storm alert. I'm going over our conditions for later today.
Given dispersal orders, if you do not leave, you will be arrested.
A campus clash with law enforcement. How WashU is responding after the arrest of dozens of student protesters.
Was I going to be there all night? Was I going to be there for a week? You know, what's going on? When could I call my lawyer?
And among those arrested, a presidential candidate. What the Green Party's Jill Stein is saying this morning and what she was charged with. Today in St. Louis, Weekend Edition starts right now.
This is Today in St. Louis, focused on you.
This morning, we're receiving new video from pro-Palestine demonstrators at WashU showing the very moment things began to escalate during yesterday's campus protest. Good morning to you. I'm Travis Cummings.
And I'm Mercedes McKay. Thanks so much for waking up with us. Now, our team has been following this story all night long.
Yeah, since yesterday afternoon, WashU police have arrested more than 80 pro-Palestine demonstrators.
Overnight, a crowd formed outside the St. Louis County Jail in Clayton, waiting for those taken into custody to be released. This is a look at the scene from just a couple of hours ago. Among those arrested are students, community members, and even Green Party presidential candidate Dr. Jill Stein. She's charged with assault after she says she was pushed to the ground and arrested by an officer. Early this morning, she spoke only with 5 on Your Side, expressing her disappointment with the university.
This is about freedom of speech, and not just any old freedom of speech, but freedom of speech on a very critical issue that needs debate and dialogue. And there they are, sending in the riot police and basically creating a riot. Our universities are being challenged now fundamentally. Who are they for? Are they for war contractors and a future that will destroy all of us and impoverish us? You know, or are they going to uphold principles of democracy that our colleges and universities are supposed to represent?
And we want to get to a statement that has since been issued by WashU this morning. Here's what they had to say. It quickly became clear through the words and actions of this group that they did not have good intentions on our campus and that this demonstration had the potential to get out of control and become dangerous. They continued on and said all arrested will face charges of trespassing and some may also be charged with resisting arrest and assault, including for injuries to police officers, end quote. Now, this all started around 3 yesterday afternoon when students and other protesters set up an encampment near WashU's campus.
Now, before the arrest began, it was a very different situation. Our Annie Krall was at that encampment and spoke with protesters about why they'd risk detainment at a protest like this one.
Palestine will be free.
Cries to free Palestine heard first at Columbia University's Gaza Solidarity encampment set up about 10 days ago, now reaching Washington University.
WashU, you can't hide. You're supporting genocide.
The community is louder than them, and if we organize and if we get together, we can do something really powerful here.
Demonstrators in the WashU Student Union demand the college cut ties with Boeing, such as in-person or virtual job recruitment.
It's documented that Boeing supplies a good amount of arms and weaponry and fighter jets to the Israeli military. They are complicit in what is going on.
Nida Moutan has family in Gaza and in the West Bank, saying she and fellow protesters will stay in this encampment all weekend, taking shifts if needed to meet their demands.
The police are massing, ready to arrest students at Washington University for putting tents on the ground. I don't understand how that's a crime to put tents on the ground or why it warrants just massive police repression, which is, I don't know whether they're going to go through with it, but they are massing. They are ready. They got the zip ties. They're ready.
There are people who don't have the choice on whether their life is risked over this or not. And if all I have to risk is maybe sitting in a cell for a minute to help that, I will.
One protester didn't want to share their name but beat the drum anyway for Palestine.
What's happening at other colleges, students getting detained, people getting honestly put in handcuffs for what you're doing right now, does that make you worried at all?
No, I mean, that's what I signed, but I did 6 years in the military to fight for people, so that's why I'm out here. Like, I saw a medic being tased to the ground by cops, being brutalized while he had his hands behind his back at UT Austin. So yeah, we're bringing it to them.
Annie Krall, 5 on Your Side.
Now, as Annie just mentioned, similar protests have popped up on college campuses across the country as students demand their own institutions separate themselves from Israel-linked companies. A Northeastern University's campus in Boston, police arrested more than 100 people to clear what a spokesperson for the college called a, quote, unauthorized encampment. One college campus in California chose to close its doors for the rest of the semester due to the protests. Many critics question the motives behind these demonstrations, while others say college campus protests are nothing new.
It seems like everybody has drunk the Kool-Aid here and across the U.S., specifically at college institutions.
So universities have always historically been a place of free speech and freedom of expression. We think back to the Vietnam War and how students during that time would protest the Vietnam War on their own university campuses, and we believe that we are living through something similar.
While some universities moved to shut down encampments due to concerns of, quote, anti-Semitic activity, many students vowed to keep their demonstrations going.
And we'll continue to bring you the very latest on this story. Even when we're off the air, you can always catch updates on the 5 on Your Side app, our website, ksdk.com. And right now, we're joined by meteorologist Tracy Henson, who has been tracking some overnight storms in our area. Just rumbling out there.
Yeah, sure was a rumbly night last night. Gary was here pretty late. I know he got home probably around 3:30.
Did
So
you
he was
hear him when he
tracking.
came in?
I always do. He's loud.
He's so tall.
I know.
He's gonna be loud.
How can you not hit the ceiling
Right.
and hit me?
Exactly.
He's loud. Anyways, our storms that we're tracking through right now, we are not under a tornado watch. We have the potential for seeing some severe weather later on today. I have us in a weather alert, downgraded from that storm alert just because we are not looking at quite the severe potential we were overnight. You can see this big plume of moisture. There are flood warnings in just about every area leading up from northern Texas into Oklahoma and just barely touching over into Missouri. So it's a lot of rainfall that's coming down. It's kind of stalling as it makes its way in. Right now, we are completely dry in the 5 on Your Side coverage area, but you don't have to go too far to get into that heavier rainfall. You can see that off and to our west over Columbia. It's kind of a pretty shot this morning as the sun's just peeking through a few of those clouds out there. We don't want to see too much sun today, just like yesterday. The more sunshine we could see, the greater potential we would have for severe storms. So I like the idea of cloudy weather today because that'll keep things a little bit more tame out there. 70 degrees this morning. It is warm. It does feel sticky, kind of that stagnant air that's outside. Winds are out of the south at just about 15 miles per hour. Our humidity is at 73%, which is typical for us overnight to have those higher humidity values. That will drop throughout the day. Throughout the rest of our day today in St. Louis, I expect us to make it just under 80 degrees. We will be overcast through most of the day. That's not a bad thing. No sunshine means no added energy, means less chances for severe storms later. Coming up, I'm going to outline our potential for severe storms this afternoon.
Thanks so much, Tracy. New this morning, we're following reports of a downtown shooting involving a juvenile. It happened here around 700 North 21st Street. Police say around 4:30 this morning, a young man was shot in the back and his shoulders. He was still conscious and breathing when officers arrived on the scene. We have reached out to police for more information, and we'll update you once we learn more.
Also this morning, we're trying to learn more about a triple shooting in North City. Officers responded to Bremen and Bissell at around 5:30 last night. That's in St. Louis's College Hill neighborhood. There they found 3 men suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. 2 were conscious and breathing when police arrived, and 1 was not. Right now, we're working to learn what led up to the shooting and the current conditions of the victims.
Right now, a South City pretzel shop is working to repair a gaping hole after a car crash. Gus's Pretzel Shop, a St. Louis staple for nearly a century, was closed when it happened. This morning, we're working to learn what led up to the crash and if anybody was hurt.